Hey everybody, and welcome back. This is Brian Fox with your coronavirus real estate report. It is our belief system that if we give you information, it will reduce panic and hysteria over what may or may not occur. So we want to make sure we're giving you real-time data to understand what is coming and what to anticipate if you can. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting concept that happens economically. It's called Pent Up Demand and price inflation. So Pent Up Demand is defined as refers to a situation when demand for a service or product is unusually strong. Economists generally use the term to describe the general public's return to consumerism following a period of decreased spending. Pent-up demand describes a rapid increase in demand for a service or product, usually following a period of subdued spending. Consumers tend to hold off making purchases during a recession, building up a backlog of demand that is unleashed when signs of recovery emerge. Quite often, pent-up demand accelerates the economic recovery period immediately following an economic downturn. Now, this is not a law, but it is something to pay attention to because here's what's happening in real estate. Over the last 2 months or so, there was about 4 weeks to 5 weeks of almost no demand for real estate. No buying, no selling, everything went down because what we were concerned about is how to survive. How do we deal with this new level of uncertainty we have for living in this world amongst the coronavirus? That was all we were concentrated upon. Then, works were furloughing their employees, laying people off, and suddenly we are worried about survival economically. How are we going to make payments? How are we going to keep up with our lifestyle, our lives in general? So there was a lot of uncertainty boiling in the marketplace. But if you watch any of our previous videos, we suggested that this might simply have an element of needing to get to normalization, where people finally feel like this is something that they can get normal to, they can get accustomed to, so they know how to anticipate and react inside of that marketplace. Now, here's what's happened. We're about 2 months, 2.5 months in now, and over time, we've had a lot of uprising of people who they just don't want to be involved in this anymore. They don't care. They want to get back to their normal lives, and they want to go back to everything the way it was before, even though it doesn't mean it is the way it was. They don't want to continue to deal with this, and that is causing whatever that pent-up demand was to release itself for people who want to consume, want to vacation, want to do things only when they feel safe to do so, but they want to keep going with their lives. So what has happened is this pent-up demand has reached real estate and to the point where we are actually seeing the COVID-19 pushed priorities around. People have prioritized differently for those first weeks, months, and now we have more buyers than sellers temporarily. And I can't speak to all markets. We're in Southern California, Orange County. All markets are slightly different. And what I can say is some markets have not been affected at all from the information I'm receiving from people I know in those states and areas. But what we've seen is that there's been some price inflation. Prices have been able to actually go up a bit, even though we've been in this recession, as they say, and the greatest unemployment numbers since the Great Depression. All these things have not simply affected us short term because there has been an element of pent-up demand. People want the product, they want to get out and buy the product, and they want to move. And they have themselves thought this is a good time to do that because there aren't as many people out competing with me. The complication there is there's been a little bit less sellers, and by competing with other people who are also thinking that same thing, they have created a bit of a pricing spike for many areas. So the point is that there are more buyers than sellers in theory based on certain areas, and not all are the same. So again, check with your local agent to make sure this is right for you. But what it's causing is some potential seller opportunity, but not overpricing. So bringing this back to you, bringing it home. You have the opportunity as a seller or a buyer to make some very strategic decisions moving forward. And in doing so, look for properties, if you're a seller to compare yourself to, that are like yours, who have not overpriced, and you might see that you have the ability to push pricing up for yourself. As a buyer, you want to do something similar. You want to look at properties that are possibly undermarketed. They're not being priced correctly in the marketplace for what's available. Take a look at what's going on around and seeing how fast properties are moving, and you might find that you're in a great position to make a seller decision or a buyer decision inside of the marketplace we are in now. And by the way, this does not last forever. So we might see that this will change in the next coming months depending on what happens next in the economy, in our local markets, around coronavirus. We don't exactly know, but right now, this is something you can pay attention to. So again, it is our goal to give you information to reduce panic and educate you on what to look for so you can make better decisions. If you have questions, you can reach out to us, you can reach your local professional. We are here to support you. Once again, Brian Fox, Fox Real Estate Group, and we're happy to serve. If you need anything, we'll see you soon.